Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction. Today we're going to quickly check out Planet Scanner. This is a preview build, so everything that you're about to see is subject to change. I hope they iron out the options menu. Even though there's a windowed mode option, the game puts you into like this weird full screen windowed mode. And when you try to resize that, the game like freaks out and then resizes it back to a full screen again. And then it doesn't keep that windowed setting either. It's really broken. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, the game is broken up into nights, and you are a worker in this little mini capsule thing in space. And you're going to get emails that tell you what your objective for that night is. Your goal might be submit a gas planet, or submit a rock planet, or whatever. And your job is to find different systems, lock into one of them, go to the other screen, and then scan the planets in that system, see what their attributes are, and if you like what you see, you can submit that planet for scoring. And you can only submit at first like 3 planets until you upgrade. So you kind of have to be choosy on which planets you score, because not only are you tasked with like trying to find a rock one or a gas one, you're also trying to meet a quota of like $8 million or $8 billion or $9 billion, something like that. So you have to look at the stock market on the computer and see where the trends are. If the ice type planets are really crappy in terms of price, on the stock market, then you don't want to submit those. You're trying to find planets that have high attributes based on the stock market on the computer. So there's some going back and forth between the planets and the computer to figure out which ones that are the best to submit. And you only have 10 minutes per shift to do this. So you kind of have to make some hard decisions. You know, I have 3 minutes left. I can still submit 2 planets. This one isn't bad. This one doesn't have a great size, but it has a great climate and a great type. So maybe I submit that. As you play, you actually unlock more things to score on. It unlocks the temperature, radius, gravity, day, year, different things like that. And you can get more points more categories to score on to help you meet your ever-growing quota. Because on the first night, it's easy to meet your quota, whereas like on night 5 and 6, it gets harder and harder and harder. Now they want 9 billion, and you have to really pay attention to what planet you submit. But as you like score these planets and then end your shift, and you earn these like space bucks or something or other. And this is money that you use for progression purposes. You unlock new abilities and new passives. Some of those are like you unlock new things to score on the stock market. Another one is you can submit an extra planet. So instead of 3 planets to submit, you can submit 4 now. Different things like that. And there is a story to this, so I'm really not going to touch on that, because this is kind of like one of those slow burn light horror games that, you know, there's something to discover there. I don't want to spoil it. You can go to the computer, read newspaper articles, and there's even like a little mini feed that you can read. It's not really integral to the story too much based on what I've seen, but the main news stuff is what you want to read if you're interested in the lore and what's going on. But ideally, this is a monotonous game where you've got 10 minutes to submit planets up to a limit, and those planets, or at least one of those planets, must contain the quota that you're looking for. So if you're tasked with finding a gas planet, one of those 3 planets you submit has to be gas. Okay, even if it's sucky on the stock market, it has to be a gas planet. And if you've met your quota or not, you have to make sure that all 3 planets that you submit are 9 billion in total. And if you manage to do that as well, and you meet your shift goals, that's great. You move on to the next day, no problem. You can even end your shift early if you've submitted 3 planets, and it even tells you quota met and, you know, trait met or whatever. But if you fail to meet these goals, you know, you're kind of penalized, and kind of like in Lethal Company, it'll warn you, hey, you know, you didn't meet your goal, you know, maybe next time you're going to get fired, that kind of thing. That's the repetition of this game. And I won't comment too much on the story. Just, it's a slow burn. horror game of sorts. There's no jump scares or anything like that, but you'll be scanning planets. You will unlock a new like signal device where you can scan planets for signals and decrypt them, and that becomes one of the goals that you have to meet. I don't want to spoil anything. So if you're interested in the slow burn types of games, and there's a monotony here in terms of finding planets and scanning them, and then submitting ones that you think would get you the most points or the most bucks, then check this game out. I don't know what the price is yet, so it's kind of hard to like give a final review score or anything, but it's interesting. So I don't see a whole lot of games like this, so definitely check this out. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all next time. Take care.